Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And we're here for a top 10 that we probably should have done a while ago, but we're finally now got some spare time to actually film this.
And yes, you guys, this is about us. Our top, well, Steve's toys, but our top 10 figures.
Yeah, because this is the top 10 best SH MonsterArts figures in my collection. If you guys want closer images, because for the most part, we're going to sit them on the table. But we had a couple of complaints in the last one that it's not about us. It's always about us. But if you want close-up images, every single video or every single figure that's in this video, we have reviewed on Super Important Reviews. I'll put a playlist in the description below. So if you want closer images, definitely go check out those videos.
If not, stop complaining.
Please and thank you. But these will be, again, top 10 in my collection, so I own all of these.
And it's our opinion of what we think.
Yeah,
okay, so please, for love of God, stop biting our heads off.
For the most part, how I'm going to base these off, some of it's a little bit personal preference, but for the most part, it's how much the figure wowed me in terms of accessories, detail, and articulation for the cost. So the cheaper it was and the more things that came with it, the better. Or the detail, or just how it feels in general. For the most part, I'll try to keep out how much I just like the kaiju in general. And noticeable exceptions for things that aren't on the list. I don't own the Alien or Predator figure because I don't need them. The NECA ones are just better. Like I messed around with the MonsterArts one before and just...
It's just the price, man. It's so much better.
Yeah, they're more expensive. The NECAs are cheaper. Might as well just go with those. I don't own the Con, but that probably wouldn't have made the list from what I hear. Because it's prone to breaking. And Heavy Arms Kiryu, because that maybe could have made the list, but I, again, don't own it, so it can't be on here. But anyways, moving on to number 10.
What do we got, Steve? What do we have?
We have the Godzilla 2000 figure. This is a Yuji Sakai concept figure. So this is not the one that actually appeared in the movie, which I guess is one of my complaints, because I really want a movie Godzilla 2000 figure. He's definitely more on the stylized end of things. But he's really cool. I really love the dorsal spines. The details are really nice. The paint job is really good. Like you can see, his toenails are painted. Same with his claws, which you don't see like on the GMK or the 54, where those are all done in like grayscales. So the nails are just lighter shades of gray, while he actually has bone coloring, which is really cool. Same with the spines, are done in more of a purple. He has the most articulated tail in the MonsterArts line.
Yeah, he does. That's why I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Main reason he's number 10. For the most part, you probably could have put any of those. Like this is like the personal preference line. But his articulation, while he has a crap ton of it, isn't the best out of the Godzilla figures. Because like this is as far as heads could look up. His mouth can't really close all the way and doesn't really open all that much. The tail is the most articulated, but
doesn't stay up.
And it doesn't really stay up, and you can only swing it so far side to side.
You need some shin help. That's what he needs.
Yeah, like shin stays up by itself, and that tail's fudging huge. But he looks so good, and in terms of paint job, for the price when he came out, I paid a little slightly more because I got mine a little later, because he's one of the ones I passed on right off the bat.
How much was he when he came out, though?
I think $75.
How much is he now?
Mine would be close to like 200-ish. Because they did the special color version, which isn't as good. I'll just say it. But like this would be the more sought after one. But the special color one is easier to acquire. So like when I picked mine up, I got mine for $100, and I wasn't complaining. But still cool figure. Like I love the design for this.
Note to self, Steve: if you want a Godzilla figure, get it when it comes out.
That's usually the case. Try to get it as fast as possible. Number 9. His hand went flying.
He's like, you don't put me in 9, that's what I think of you.
Where's his hand? Mine has a really loose hand joint. But what we have here is the SH MonsterArts Space Godzilla.
Okay, I see why he's number 9. I'm surprised he wasn't number 10.
You know what's funny is I kind of forgot about these problems before I got them out. I was just like, you're number 9, cool story. But no, the details on this figure are amazing.
Look at this. Look Just the tail alone.
Yeah, the tail's really cool. Dorsal spines are nice because they're all done in the crystal. His shoulders look great. Face details look awesome. Body, legs. Everything about this figure is stunning. And it even came with his beam effect.
He's got the Sailor Moon crystal, too.
And he's got his little crown. Main issues, it's give and take. Because I appreciate that some of the figure isn't articulated, like the shoulders here. I could see them articulating, but they left it alone to keep the body a little cleaner. That, and it's not like he was moving those around the movie. So it would have been unnecessary. I'm fine with that. Because I wanted to articulate it anyways. But even still, some of the stuff likes to pop off on him. And the limited articulation does kind of hurt in terms of the play value. So it's a double-edged sword with this figure.
Like, you appreciate it, but then you're still pissed because they didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, like one of those things. Like, it's a little bit harder to explain. So it's like, he looks really good, but for the most part, this, like, everybody's will be standing on the shelf looking like this. The tail might be in a different position. Or popping off.
Yours won't.
And he's also one of those figures that if the more that you own from this movie, the way cooler he gets. Like if you have Mogira, looks good next to that. Little Godzilla came with more crystals for him to stand next with. But yeah, so the figure, detail-wise, is very impressive, but the articulation is what mostly hurts this guy in terms of being higher on the list. Then maybe just some more crystals would could have been cool. But for the price, because I think he was about $75 when he came out too, around there. That's what I got mine for.
How much is he now?
That I don't know. I imagine it's kind of pricey because he's never had a reissue. Number 8. 1996 Gamera. Oh,
I didn't want to face plant him to break his tusk.
Yeah, please don't. I love this Gamera. It's my favorite Gamera figure I own. Easily my favorite. Stop it.
That's what I think of you, Gamera.
For like slightly over $80, you get every single thing you need with this Gamera.
Paid $80 for that thing? You are a monster.
He came with his plasma breath. He has his wings, so you can transform into his flight pose. He has a stand, even though it doesn't sit high off the ground, but that's fine, where you can fly around with. His chest can open up to do his mana beam.
I do remember that was the cool part, was his chest.
Yeah, he's great. Weird, it's like, but the reason why he gets some notches though is how cool he is. His articulation's a little weird.
They're super weird.
Lining this up is a pain in the butt, to say the least. And then, like, again, mouth doesn't really close all the way. But mainly, it's like this part is the part that hinders me a bit. So it's not fully the cleanest looking Gamera figure, but it came with so much freaking stuff that it's still
impressive. The chest thing just makes it up there.
And without it having that, it would have been less impactful of a figure too. But it's what hinders it compared to some of the other ones on this list. But it's easily the coolest Gamera in my collection.
This right here is a better Gamera.
That is Undertaker Donatello.
It's a turtle. It's Gamera. It's better. Man down.
Man down. Donatello's like, elbow to the nuts. From the top rope.
Why, Undertaker? Why?
Because he's pissed he has to wrestle Roman Reigns. Instead of John Cena.
No, Steve.
Next for number 7, we have Triple K Godzilla, or just 89 Godzilla.
So that's the 89, right?
89 Godzilla. I'm not going to use it. It's 3 letters. Well, it's KKK Godzilla. That's what I called it.
It's only racist if you guys make it racist. Seriously.
It's true. It's just letters. But anyways, figure would be probably number 1 if it wasn't for the sound card and the light feature being a little bit lackluster. Because the details on this figure are amazing. Like X plus good.
He looks sweet.
Yeah, it is a stunning looking piece. Like, it looks pretty much exactly like it did in the movie. Everything looks good. I love the dorsal spines. I love the tail. It's not quite as articulated as some of the other MonsterArts figures, but that's fine. Because, like, who really articulates the stomach all that much to do, like, crazy side turns? Like, Godzilla walks straight and like this. That's all I needed. But for mine, the sound card isn't great. Because even when I was trying to do the review, it was a pain in the butt to try to get it to do the roaring and the music. Because when you push the button, it likes to do the music. When you hold the button, it likes to do the music. And it's like, I have to find that sweet spot. And it has to be like, the moon is in the right spot at this right time of day.
Stars have to align just perfectly.
And then it'll work fine. Half the time, though, it's just like, you hope for the best. Then the light-up features, cool, not the most impressive thing. So for the price point, and those issues is what hurts it. But it's easily the best looking Godzilla figure in the line, though.
Looks are not everything, Steve. It's what's inside, and his insides suck.
Touche. That's why he's number 7. If everything worked accordingly, I could see him being number 1. Next for number 6, Final Wars Gigan. This is a present from Arnes. He got this for me for Christmas. Which,
The only reason why I bought him, he came with chainsaws.
he's cool. Usually I have him posing with the chainsaws, but as of right now, he's got his normal claws on him. What's the figure? Detail-wise, amazing. Love the articulation on the guy. Comes with, again, everything you'd want for a Gigan. I think the only thing really missing would be the chains that came out of him they tried to lasso Godzilla with.
You know what really pisses me off about this? In a movie, he sucked. He was useless.
But he's so cool looking, though.
Yet again, looks right out of everything, Steve. His fighting spirit was 0.
But it just stands on my shelf, man. Fighting spirit doesn't give 2 craps about detail. Paint job. Which is awesome. The biggest knock for this guy is how freaking fragile he is. I haven't had an issue with him yet. Like, the only MonsterArts figure I have that's a titch damage is my Batra, like the tippy tip of the wing.
Yeah, when it fell off.
Yeah, it had a little chip because it biffed it when I was doing a video. But it went back on, you can't even notice it. So, cool. But it's one of those, like, if I ever did eventually resell it, I'd have to bring it up. But for this figure, like, the little blades here on the tail, you have to worry about when articulating. Same when you want to tear apart this part, you have to worry about the blades up here. It's mainly just like the blades and the pointy ends all have the possibility of things happening if he tips or you bend it the wrong way.
Super fragile, man.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, he would be higher. But I can't see a better way of doing this figure, though. At least in this kind of style. It's like you'd either have to dumb down the detailing or thicken the blades or use a different material like a soft rubber instead of using the hard plastic.
But
like
then if you use soft rubber, then it's not,
Yeah, then it doesn't. It feels cheaper.
Yeah.
Like then we're going into like this feels more like a NECA than a MonsterArts, which is not what you pay for. But for the price point, like again, comes with everything you wanted. But he's easily, I would say, the second most fragile in the line. I'd say the original King Ghidorah is probably the most fragile figure.
We don't talk about that guy.
Yeah. Like, if you watch the top 10 worst, it was on there. For number 5, this hurts me.
Actually, I don't even care about this creature, but this hurts me just because it should have been higher.
Yeah, because it's my... I guess overall monster movies would be my second, because you guys know, like, I love me some Legion. But for Godzilla monsters anyways. Number 5 is Violente. This figure is amazing. The details look really good. I love the size and scale of the figure. It feels expensive. It feels super expensive. It has a light up feature. I love me some lights.
It's got articulations everywhere.
Yeah, for what it is, it's really articulated. You even get the head up high. Thing is, like, the articulation, like, for the neck is kind of weird looking. And it's an expensive figure. That's really what hurts it. Because it's, when I got it, it was about $220.
God, that's a lot.
Which makes it the most expensive MonsterArts figure. And for that price, it's really cool, but it doesn't come with anything.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what hinders it a little bit, but it's still just like the size and scale of the figure. Like, I didn't hate paying that much for it. Like, it felt that expensive. But there could have been maybe a little bit more done with it to really help elevate it. Like maybe even a couple of extra little vines setting off to the side or something. So you could have it somewhere else in the display case. That would have been really cool. And maybe it could have cleaned up some of the articulation a little bit more on the figure.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a double-edged sword. It's freaking amazing, huge, but it's got no accessories and it's overpriced.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even go far as saying it's overpriced. Like it feels that much, but like nowadays too. Like
I was about to say, how much is it now, Steve?
Like 400's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, overpriced right now.
Like this is probably one of the figures that could sorely use a reissue. And be honest, instead of a reissue, I'd rather just see the Rose version for number 4.
2 for 1 sale, man. 2 for 1.
2 kaijus for the price of 1. What we have here is the Mothra and Batra larva set.
Is this scaling even fair?
Mothra larva is very tiny.
Like,
but that's what's great about this. How you doing? You know they're both females, right?
don't judge.
Scissor me timbers.
Oh, wait. They're both females?
I guess. But for the figures, detail astounding. Nothing really to complain about. Nothing really to complain about the articulation. You get 2 figures for the price of 1, and I think they were about $100 when they came out. And I could have seen Batra being by itself. Like, it is a huge kaiju for what it is. Like, it's easily as big as Godzilla. But they incorporated Mothra here as an accessory to really help sell the figure. Plus, since we have both the Mothra and Batra adults, it's nice having both the larvas. And the Mothra larva even came with the string attack to help give it a little bit more value.
So accessory came with an accessory.
Pretty much. And for the price, again, awesome. And there's not really anything real negative to say about it. I would say that if they would have added the beam effect, though, for this guy, this would have easily been number 1.
Complaining about
Best thing
everything. No, I get it. You know.
Yeah, like it's still $100 for pretty big kaiju, little accessory. But then again, I guess I could say one negative is this is how it's going to stand on your shelf.
Can't do anything.
2, there's not too much you can do about it. Like Mothra can lean up a little bit, you can have it curving. But for this one, it's mainly like the tail could be up, tail could be down, and you can adjust some of the stuff on the front and maybe look a little more higher.
But I do like the articulations, though. Like, it has it in his mouth and everything. Like, the little things
yeah,
on the
like,
side.
for what you see in the movie, the articulation's fine. But, compared to some other ones, like even the Biollante, we show the Biollante is even more posable.
Yeah.
But yeah, but when it came with the 1 effect set, would have easily been number 1 on this list. Number 3. SH MonsterArts Burning Godzilla, the original release.
I don't agree with Steve on this one. He should have been higher up, like 5, 6.
But it's easily the best Godzilla figure in the line, next to the Rebirth. I don't own the Rebirth, I should have said that. But the Rebirth is the same mold, so between the 2, it's the exact same figure. I would still rather have Burning Godzilla.
I do like his tail, though.
Yeah, the articulation is amazing, because everybody loves the Rebirth Godzilla. This is literally the same figure. So, detailing looks great. I love the burning effect on this guy. And I don't own the Ultimate version. I've seen it. I'm not as big a fan of the gloss. I understand why they did it, so there's a difference between the 2 figures, other than just the different variation in the dorsal spine coloration. But this is still the definitive version for me. Like, this is the one you need. The other one's cool and has a smoke effect, but this would be the one I would prefer in terms of looks.
I'm not a fan of it, Steve. No.
He just doesn't like it because the tail has white on it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I think it's fine. It's pretty similar to the movie.
No.
And
No,
it
no.
looks good.
No.
Looks so
No.
good. Mouth even looks fine. Detailing is astounding. Like, mine has like a little paint glop like right up here, but whatever, you know. And he came with the Maser tanks too. Like, most Godzilla figures we get nowadays don't really come with a lot of accessories. Like, you once in a while get a beam effect, but once in a while get something random. Like, he had tanks. He had little vehicles to add with them. It's really cool, especially for what you saw in the movie. And when he came out, I want to say he was like 65, 75 in that range.
I can see right through him. He needs to eat more.
Yeah, it's mainly like when you You can adjust that.
He needs more meat on his bones, Steve.
Yeah.
You guys don't know what you're talking about. He eats plants.
I hate those comments. It's like, doesn't eat meat technically either, but whatever. And this is a figure, like when he came out, he was like 65, 75, which I think at that price, really awesome figure. Like, nothing to really complain about. I picked mine up for 130. I found mine at G-Fest, and I was fine because it was still cheaper than what he was going for on eBay.
That's still a lot of money, though, Steve.
It's from the same vendor, too, that I got my Garuda. Every time I buy them, they make a reissue. Like, I'm done. I'm all caught up on the old ones that I need. Like, Khan's the only one that they reissued. I'd grab it. Like, even then, when I got him out, I was in love with the figure because of just how good it looks and how impressive it is. But so, at the $65 price point, still an amazing figure. But there's two other figures I think are a little better. Now, here's where the list probably is going to be controversial. Because number 2, we have the Kiryu from Godzilla X Mechagodzilla. I'm not taking it out of the box because I got it signed by the director of the film. Problem is when I had it displayed in my case, one of my shelves randomly decided to fall and try to take it out. So on the back here, it got a little crinkled. So I'm trying to leave the box alone as much as possible. Like, it's got some shelf wear now too and stuff from it sliding when it got hit. So it's infuriating. But
he was pissed.
Yeah, I lost an autographed comic too at that time. Oh, so bad. But for the figure, it was amazing. Again, we did reviews for these, so you can go check them out on Super Unimportant Reviews if you want to see closer looks at this guy. But it comes with a crap ton of accessories, has everything you want from the movie. One of the only Godzilla figures with interchangeable faces. You can swap out the eyes for the Berserk mode.
Which is cool.
Which is really cool to see. Comes with the blades that shoot out of its arm. Comes with its backpack. Like, maybe it could use some like beam effects, but it doesn't need it. Like, I'm perfectly fine with it coming out with it.
Why isn't this number 1 then?
He's a pretty expensive MonsterArts figure. When I got him, I want to say he was like about $125. Heavy Arms is even more. Heavy Arms is cool though. Like, you get a lot for the price, so it's whatever. But it's mainly like the price point hinders the guy a little bit because the articulation and detail on this thing is stunning, and it even has some die cast in it. And it was my favorite for a while until I got this figure, which is going to be the controversial part because for number 1,
it's my favorite.
You want to sit him on the table?
Yeah.
Mogira.
The greatest thing ever, man.
So yeah, what I think is the best MonsterArts figure in the line. Mogira. Detail-wise, looks exactly like he does in the movie. Articulation's very nice, and like, again, it's one of those, it's limited. Like, it's not as opposed with some other MonsterArts figure, but for what you see in the movie, it does what you want, which is all it needs to do. And I would say it probably comes with at least pretty close to the most accessories in the MonsterArts line.
God, everything spins on this guy. It's amazing.
Mecha King Ghidorah is probably the one that has the most, I think, off the top of my head. Possibly Kiryu. But this guy, like, he comes with extra arms, so you can open up the tubes on the front of his hands to reveal the missiles. Comes with the grenade missiles. Comes with an accessory for them shooting out of his hand. He comes with the accessory piece for his chest, for the maser cannon. Also has a beam for the maser cannon. Comes with little buildings for this actual stand, which I think was an awesome idea, and I wish they would have done more with that. Gave us more buildings to use a stand instead of just the clear plastic. Like, again, has everything you want from Mogira from that film.
It's
like,
Mogira. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you would have maybe came with the way to have them split apart, that would have been really cool. But for $75, it didn't need it.
No, you only paid $75 and you get all those things. Yeah.
Like, for the MonsterArts line, it's by far the most pound for pound best value out of the set. Easily. Like, some of the figures I would say are more impressive looking. There's a lot of people that don't like the Mogira. Like, they're just not a big fan of the kaiju in general.
watching you guys.
Yeah, I liked him. Like, my thing was, I had the Treadmaster figure. And that Treadmaster figure looks like it does from the movie. And it's awesome. And this figure reminds me a lot of that.
Like, I liked him, but I really started liking him when we started playing the game. And he just wiped the floor with me with him.
Yeah, in the game, he's pretty busted. He's like, shooting lasers.
It was epic.
But yeah, like, I love this thing. Like, I love doing the review. If you guys haven't picked it up for your SH MonsterArts collection, probably should. He's still actually cheap to get to.
Get it while you can.
Like, most of these other guys have gone up in value. He is still pretty low. And it baffles my mind. But if you're like collecting Monster Arts figures, like, this isn't one to skip. But yeah, that's our top 10 list. But anyways, what's your guys' favorite Monster Arts figure? Please let us know in the comment section below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.